and what was wrong with it for years. But everyone likes it, so we just have to shut up. If there are any questions at all, I'd be happy to answer them.
Yeah, I thought in this movie that we had, I thought there would be Edith coming back and explaining that shot of Edith and doing the remake of what happened to her.
Yeah, where was that?
I thought this was in this movie.
No, it's not in this movie. It's on YouTube or something.
But tell the story, because I think it's more important than the Grammy picture.
Who's Edith?
Edith Lee Payne is that beautiful black young lady who was at the March on Washington. And the BBC found out who they were, and they found out where I was. And they called us both up, and we went to the 50th anniversary of the march. And when we met, it was like we knew each other all that time, even though we had no idea. I had no idea what her name was, or anything about her. And she, me.
The fact that picture became in the black people.
I'm getting to that part.
Sorry.
Where was it? We got to be pals. She's a grandma living in Detroit, still politically active, and that picture has become, with no credit to me, by the way, the poster. She's the poster child for the March on Washington. Her pictures on buses going by, huge flags all over Washington D.C. And when we were at the mall, the National Park guys wanted to have their picture taken with her rather than the other way around. And we met, and could I have a book?
Sure.
That part of that story is in the book, and the picture of us 50 years later is also in the book. This book is, well, not only she's the cover child of the March, she's the cover of my book, too. And there's a couple of them back there for sale if you all want to get one. And what was the question? Yes, sir.
I wanted to thank you because early in the month I saw your pictures out there, just a few that you had hung.
On the screen or on
the ones in the gallery?
Yeah.
And it struck me, you have such a way of capturing people's eyes and I think their vision and soul. It's amazing. And
I appreciate that.
It reminded me of some of the power and strength that some of those people had back then. And it reminded me now, 50 years later, to look for that again. So it gave me some hope.
Thanks very much. It is a blessing to, like I say, doing what you love to do and getting paid for it. It's a gift. And I think my gift is the fact that I do see light shining out of people. I've got a gripe about the movie when there's too many pictures of me in it. Long shots of me, and then some of my best pictures are only on for like a half a second.
There's a reason why some of us are behind the camera.
Chris, I think, did a pretty artful job. I hadn't seen it for a couple of years, and I was impressed with what Chris did. His camera work was darn good. Yes.
Judy Collins loves you so much that she has a no photograph photography policy at her shows.
Isn't it cool that she instills it back together again? You're going to have a concert and a record and all?
I heard she was getting tickets at Westbury at the box office.
That's neat.
2 months ago.
Well, I called her up about that. We're going to, I think I'm going to send her that picture of her and Steve smiling.
Yep.
So they can use it. Maybe they'll give me a free seat. Listen, thanks everybody for coming out. Really enjoyed it. More questions? One more question? Yes.
Actually, this is sort of a double question. Like, this is kind of like two sort of unrelated questions, but first off, so earlier this year I went to the did you take any pictures during the Women's March that took place?
Yes, we did. But I didn't have the same access that I had, this immaculate access that I had.
Nobody had access because like there were so many people there.
There must have been some people that had some kind of credentials that they could get through police lines somewhere. All the people that got me into that were all retired. But Linda and I went, and her pictures were much better than mine. For what?
Another comment?
Sure, go ahead.
All right. I did get a
Wait, he's
shot.
got half another question.
Yeah, sorry. So like, you know, as someone who regularly takes a lot of portraits of people, like one thing I struggle with in terms of like, I guess as sort of an amateur photographer who's trying to expand their skills a little bit more, but is also has like crippling social anxiety. Like, do you ever like have any like? Is there any like sort of social sort of anxiety that you have to kind of get over in order like if you pass someone on the street and they think that they would make a good like photography subject, is there any sort of like, I don't know.
Yeah,
like,
you can either steal it, or you can say, "Pardon me, but I'm a photographer, and you look great, and I'd like to photograph you." Blah blah blah. It's a tough call.
I mean, it's just that it's like, sorry, what?
Yeah, I don't know. Get a telephoto lens and well, you can take your chances. Do you know karate?
I don't know karate, but my younger brother took it when he was in elementary school, so like maybe I'll ask him.
Or bring him with you when you No, it's a sensitive thing. Sometimes if you just like be open and friendly and say, you know, I'm shooting pictures and for my class or something. I'm trying to get an A in my photography class. And you look great, let me get a picture. Some bullshit story.
I actually took a photography class this year, so that kind of helps.
Are you doing it because you think you might become a photographer or what?
I'm looking. It's one of the things I'm sort of looking into.
Do you play music too?
I don't play music.
No, that's too bad.
I managed to get a picture of the sharpshooters on top of the White House, on the roof.
You did?
Yeah. I made my way up there with my camera as close as I could get to one of those.
Without getting shot yourself?
Photo.
I don't think you're even supposed to know they're there.
I know.
She was so professional looking. She got video camera.
It's behind this on stage.
Or anybody got any spy stories you want to talk about? Go ahead.
I just had a question, because you had made the comment earlier about the transition to digital photography. Do you exclusively now work digitally, or do you still sometimes have the nostalgia for the analog process?
About a year ago it was 90-10 digital to film, and now it's about 95-5. The film is hard to find, it's hard to get processed, it's expensive. And digital has gotten, I think it's sort of surpassed it. In fact, it's almost too sharp, the pictures are now. They're unrealistically sharp because we've made them.
That's sort of what I miss.
Those older of us who remember Life magazine. Life magazine wasn't very sharp, really.
No, there's a look. There's like a look to
National
it.
Geographic and like some of the European magazines are terrifically sharp. Sharpness, by the way, is never part of my. I compose well, but my pictures are blurry.
But that's part of the art.
Maybe so. I'm lucky. Speaking of luck. There weren't, as I say in the movie, there weren't that many photographers back in the day. And a real camera, like a Leica or a Rolling, it was a couple $100. Now they're a couple of $1,000. And everyone's got
Aaron's got
a cell phone. And they take great pictures. And everyone's got them. Every day another billion photos are made. And let's say only 5% of them are good. That's still 500 million photos that are great, you know. One more question.
Yeah, I kind of like your record back in '59, kind of. But I think you sing much better with the heart and soul you use in your camera.
That's nice. I appreciate that. But then playing golf with Greggy Avalon and those guys. Hey, that's one thing. The other thing, my buddy Tom Clark is a Mozart scholar, for Christ's sake. He wouldn't know rock and roll if it fell on him. He would know Bobby D. Cute guy. I haven't seen him in a long time. What pissed me off really is when the first show, he was at the first show, and he got a much bigger laugh with that thing. Rowland had some talent.
It was pretty good.
I think it's pretty good. Yeah. Probably good. Okay, guys, thank you so much for coming. It was great. I hope you did.